The Malaysian smallholder is structurally designed to fail. Despite managing 26.4% of our land, these farmers lose up to 75% of their margins to middlemen and 50% of their produce to waste. We are the Incredibles, and our solution, Budi Agri, reclaims this value by converting trusted kedai runcits into digital agri-hubs. By year 3, we aim to increase farmer income by 30%, establish bankable digital identities for 800 farmers, and achieve a self-funding break-even. We don't just fix the supply chain, we make local agriculture traceable, scalable, and fair. The current value chain suffers from a systemic misalignment of incentives. Supermarkets require consistency and traceability, but face a 50% post-harvest loss because individual smallholders lack the capital for modern infrastructure. Simultaneously, rural kedai runcits, the most trusted nodes in the community, are being marginalized by the logistical scale of big box retailers. Meanwhile, farmers operate in a black box, unaware of true market prices until middlemen arrives at their farm gates. These issues converge in a broken system where fragmented rural supply cannot meet corporate demand. Smallholders are currently trapped by a triple threat of exploitation, financial disadvantage, and market exclusion. Exploitation is rampant at the source, where intermediaries siphon up to 75% of proceeds through price opacity and subjective quality grading. This creates a severe disadvantage, as an average monthly income of 2,800 ringgit keeps 26.4% of these households in a persistent poverty trap. Finally, infrastructure gaps lead to exclusion, causing 50% of produce to rot before it ever reaches a formal market. To break this cycle, the system requires a decentralized layer to professionalize local nodes and reclaim farmer margins.
So for our solution, we introduced Budi Agri, which is basically a platform that connects smallholder farmers, kedai runcit, and bulk input wholesaler into one integrated supply chain. So there are three main areas that Budi Agri focus on. First, we improve price transparency, where we use real-time market matching to eliminate middlemen who control the price. Second, we do skill aggregation, where we combine demand from smallholder farmers so they can buy inputs like fertilizer at a cheaper bulk price. Third, we focus on traceability and ECG compliance, where we collect first-mile data to ensure food safety and meet supermarket standard. So overall, Budi Agri turns the current fragmented and informal farming activities into a traceable, scalable, and fair system. Next slide. So now, I will briefly explain how the process works. 2 weeks before harvest, farmers will inform the kedai runcit, or what we call the hub manager, about their expected yield. Then, the Budi Agri platform will match this supply with real-time demand from supermarkets. Once a minimum total volume is reached, the system will automatically trigger a third-party logistic provider to collect everything. At the kedai runcit, the produce will be checked and graded using simple digital tools to ensure quality. After that, everything will deliver directly to the supermarket distribution center. In terms of revenue, we earn mainly from a transaction commission, about 2 to 5% charged to supermarket, and also a small margin from bulk purchasing of inputs. And the key advantage of Budi Agri is that it is asset-light because we use existing kedai runcit instead of building new infrastructure. It is also human-centric, meaning farmers don't need to use any app, which make adoption much easier. Next slide.
On the go-to-market side, we begin with hub onboarding, where kedai runcit acts as physical access point for farmers. We then aggregate both input demand and harvest supply, synchronize logistics through third-party partners, and deploy a traceability layer to ensure transparency. In terms of revenue, there are two main streams. First, we take a small transaction fee, around 2% of supermarkets. While this is significantly lower than 30 to 40% taken by middlemen, this is sustainable due to scale. Second, we monetize data to a data as a service model, where supermarkets pay for insights. Looking at market potential, the total addressable market is approximately 14.5 billion ringgit, with a serviceable market of 3.9 billion ringgit. Our initial target is to capture 190 million ringgit in transaction volume by year 5. In long term, this evolves beyond a marketplace into an integrated agri-infrastructure platform. Next slide, please. Budi Agri is rolled out in 3 phases. First, we build and validate onboard farmers, set up hubs, and secure demand. Second, we launch operations, match supply with supermarkets, and activate logistics, reaching break-even. Finally, we scale nationally, expand hubs, and grow partners as we use data to optimize the system. Next slide.
Okay, so let's talk about money. So in year one and year two are the years of investment. So we'll be building our platform, we'll be onboarding hubs, and then we'll be signing retail MOUs. So by year three, two revenue streams will activate simultaneously. So our 2% off the commission on 20 million ringgit worth of produce, and our input spread from bulk fertilizer procurement. So we'll be receiving 660,000 in revenue and 404,000 in costs. And by then we'll be net positive. So we achieve break even by 3.5 years, and by year five, we'll achieve an annual recurring revenue of 732,000 ringgit. And for internal rate of return, we'll achieve 43.2%, which is 27 points above our hurdle rate, and we'll also achieve an NPV positive of 183,000, and we also achieve a return on investment of 125%. And the reason that all of this works is that we own completely nothing. So no trucks, no warehouse, no land. We are asset light by design, and that's not a gap in our model. That's the entire strategy. Next slide. So the financial return is only half the story. So we'll be investing 400,000 worth of capital in 20 hubs, 800 farmers, and 24 million in formalized GMV by year three. At a farm level, a 15 to 20% price premium over whatever the middleman was offering. That's 2,460 more per farmer per year. So for the Kedai Ringgit operators, they get a brand new commission income stream, and they do not need to fork out any capital for it. So Malaysia's food supply chain also get a 95% first mile traceability, and all of this will achieve SDG goals of 2, 9, and 10. So next slide. So for the risks and mitigations. So for the first risk, farmer adoption. So rural communities don't switch easily. So we don't ask them to. So we route through Kedai Ringgit owners that they already trust. So second risk is supply reliability. So we aggregate costs across multiple hubs, and third-party logistics partners only gets triggered at full truckload threshold. So every shipment that leaves is worth sending. And lastly is the platform bypass. So credit profile, digital identity, and bulk input access all live within Budi Agri. So for the farmers that wants to leave us, leaving will cost them more than staying. So trust, dependency, coordination is Budi Agri doesn't just solve the problem. It makes itself indispensable to all stakeholders. So Malaysia's smallholders have been invisible to the formal economy for far too long, not because they lack potential, but because no one built the infrastructure to include them. So Budi Agri does exactly that. So one platform, 20 hubs, 800 farmers, and a supply chain that finally works for the people at the bottom of it. So we are the Incredibles, and thank you.